Batman, Batman, Batman. Alright, now a couple years ago I did a review of Batman Forever, which I believe it was one of the first few that really talked about how Batman Forever is not as good of a movie as everybody used to think of it as. But, yeah. Now on to the worst Batman movie ever, Batman and Robin. Now, a lot of people blame Schwarzenegger and say it's his fault this movie was bad because of all his one-liners and blah, 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 blah. But honestly, to me, Schwarzenegger was like the best part of the movie. I don't care what everybody else says. They can, go criticize some other actor for something. But one thing I will say, though, I was not thrilled that Schwarzenegger, since he's the main villain, he got top billing over the main star who plays Batman, which is George Clooney. But I wasn't too fond of George Clooney as Batman. I thought he was bland in this movie as Batman. I thought he was just totally not into this character, totally emotional. Yeah, he was a little bit emotional, remembering all the stuff with Alfred, which subplot is Alfred is dying of, whatever it was he was dying of. And he's sitting there getting, sick and all that. And it starts out with, Batman and Robin suiting up, both of them turning around to show their butts. I'm sure a lot of women got thrilled about that, like, George Clooney's butt, Chris O'Donnell's butt, yay yay, in tight leather. Well, at least they had something for the men later on in the movie, but anyway. Which I'll talk about when I get to that part. But honestly, I'll say you got the bat nipples, the famous bat nipples. Joe Schumacher really destroyed. How do you go from Batman and Batman Returns for being good to great movies to Batman Forever and Batman and Robin? Really. But then again, you did have Tim Burton work on the first two Batman movies. But honestly, I feel like George Clooney was not the right pick for Batman, and I felt like he should have just not been in this movie. Now, yes, he did come off of playing an awesome character in an awesome movie called From Dusk Till Dawn the year prior, but as Batman, it was like, Jesus. Anyway, so, moving on to some of my issues with the movie. First off, let's get right into my biggest problem with the movie is Bane. Now, look, I know Bane's not the sharpest knife in the drawer and all that, but to have Bane just sit there grunting and repeating what Poison Ivy and frickin' Mr. Freeze is saying is pretty stupid. And, the way George Clooney came in at first as Batman, and he's like, "Hello, Freeze, I'm Batman." That was so lame. I mean, at least Val Kilmer, I think the first time he said it was like when Two-Face is trying to figure out who Batman is and nobody could hear because all the audience was being super loud, and he's like, "Harvey, I'm Batman." But no one could hear because, the crowd was loud. Anyway, yeah, Bane was a big issue for me. I think it really screwed up the character of Bane. I had already seen him in the comics, the cartoon, all that stuff, but, Another big issue is how Batman and Robin are completely fighting over Poison Ivy throughout this whole movie, but now look, Bruce Wayne is usually single in the Batman movies, but this movie, he has a girlfriend throughout the whole freaking movie. Same girl throughout this whole movie. I mean, in the first Batman, he was single, so he hooked up with Vicky Vale. Batman Returns, he was, enamored with Catwoman. He was single in that. And then, even Batman Forever, Batman was single and he hooked up with Chase Meridian. It took Chase forever to decide whether she wanted Batman or, Batman or, Bruce Wayne. And really, when she finally makes a decision. It's one of the best scenes of the movie. I'll talk about that tomorrow when I do my Hollywood cast and script Batman and Robin, even though, you know, that's from Batman Forever. Another big issue with the movie, I think, is the fact that Barbara Gordon, oh, she's not Barbara Gordon in this, she's Barbara Pennywise. Because she's apparently Alfred's niece. And Robin's all, has the hots for her, and, you know, at the end, he's flirting with her and all that, even though half the movie he's drooling over Poison Ivy. I mean, they made Poison Ivy hot in this movie. I mean, but then again, in the comics and cartoons, she's kind of hot too, so, you know. But they made her hot, and she's using this anesthesis that, like, blows to make men, you know, just fall head over heels with her. And a lot of times she really didn't need to, because a lot of guys were already drooling on her in the movie when she frickin' would come in, even without the frickin' little powder or whatever she was spewing at people to, you know, fall head over heels with her. Now, a big focus of this movie is a lot of the Batman and Robin rivalry, which really, you see it in here, you think, well, maybe at the end Robin's going to become Nightwing. Maybe they would have did that in the third Schumacher Batman movie. Who knows? But I honestly feel like, you know, them fighting over Poison Ivy was just ridiculous. Honestly, especially with the fact, like I said, Batman's had a freaking girlfriend throughout the whole freaking movie. You see the lady numerous times too, and it's like, well, wait a minute. If Batman's with this lady, why is he even worrying about Poison Ivy? And the fact that Batman's supposed to be a great detective, but yet it took him so freaking long to realize Poison Ivy was putting him under a spell to be in love with her and all that. It was just like, Jesus Christ, they really botched Batman a lot. Honestly, 97 was not a good year for movies. I mean, you had movies like Batman and Robin, Mortal Kombat Annihilation. You had freaking Spawn, which I liked the Spawn movie. I thought it was, honestly, I think the Spawn movie was probably the best comic book movie that came out in 97, and that's saying a lot. Spawn was still kind of new. Batman's been around forever, and like I said in my video the other day, I've been a big Batman fan, but, you know, for me to like Spawn better than I like a Batman movie, it's just crazy. Now, yeah, as a kid, I was a stupid kid, so I liked Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. But I was a stupid teenage kid. I think this one came out when I was like, I want to say 13, 14. And then 95 Batman came out when I was about 12 years old. So, yeah. So I was probably 14 when this one came out. And I'm like, God. But even then, the teenage 14-year-old who was still kind of stupid about movies, I still felt there was something wrong with this movie. But let's focus on the partnership with Batman, Robin, and Barbara Pennywise now, because, you know, Barbara's talking about she's going to try to take Alfred and lead him into a new life because he's sick, but Batman's like, no, he's not sick, he's dying. Blah. You can figure that out, but you can't figure out Poison Ivy's hypnotizing you guys. Okay. It was just crazy, but really, yeah, and like I said, you know, they do give the guys something, since we had to look at frickin' Batman butt and Robin butt and Batman nipples and Batman nipples. At least when Alicia Silverstone frickin' puts on the bat suit, she turns where you see her butt, and then you turn to see her boobs and all that. But, yeah. But pretty much, I mean, overall, what else can I say about this movie except for it's just straight up trash. I mean, the story is stupid. Barbara Gordon frickin' being related to Alfred just so they could have that little stupid family tie. I mean, honestly, you know, Barbara could have frickin' figured out who Batman and Robin is, and then she could have talked to, she could have still been the commissioner's daughter. She could have talked to Alfred about setting her a costume up when she found out who Batman and Robin was, and she could help him or whatever, but that wasn't the case. Because reasons, I don't know. really, you know, here's one of the parts where they're fighting over Poison Ivy. Yay, yay, yay. You know, Mr. Freeze gets caught. They fight over him, blah, blah, blah. But I'll tell you what, they were really playing up Robin to be a total dummy in this movie because he kept falling for frickin' freak. He, like, at the beginning of the movie, he frickin' runs into, you know, Mr. Freeze shooting ice at him, which caused Freeze to get away with the diamond he was stealing. And he, even when Batman realized that Poison Ivy was, you know, using them to fight against each other, it was like, speaking of which, here's the Batman girlfriend right here, and you see this lady a lot in the movie, but yeah, I guess, just stupid what they did. Alright, well, let's see. Robin yelling, "Yaw!" I do like how when she freaking needed Bane to beat up those jokers, he just cleaned the floor with them. But yeah, here's the part that, like, fudge, go back. Here's the part that leads to the scene I was just talking about a minute ago. And, you know, the partner's part, blah blah blah. Trust me now, da 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 da. Yeah, it's all gibberish nonsense. This also leads to it, but you know. Honestly, I'm just going to go ahead and give my score to this freaking movie. Because this movie was terrible. Terrible. As you know, the great freaking, what's his name? Charles, almost forgot Charles Barkley's name. The great Charles Barkley said, this movie was terrible. It was so terrible that they had a third one planned, but it never came to fruition. Thank God. Oh my God. Imagine a third one and George Clooney and them coming back as Batman. I mean, I wouldn't mind Alicia Silverstone coming as Batgirl. But, yeah. But George Clooney as Batman and all that crap, nah. This movie's garbage. It should be thrown in the garbage can. Anyway, so Batman Forever and Batman and Robin really suck. I give this movie, I'm not even going to give it a star rating. It's going to be in that Halloween Resurrection area. Like I said, the only good thing was Schwarzenegger in this movie. I don't care what anybody else says. But, you know, I know it wasn't because I was a big action nerd in the 80s and 90s, big fan of the action movies. And Arnold was like the action movie god. But I'm gonna give this movie some Mr. Freeze puns and bat nipples and bat, you know, butt out of 5. That's how bad this movie is. It sucks so bad. Anyway, that'll do it for this review. Please like this video, leave a comment, subscribe for more. Let me know what you guys think of Batman and Robin. I'm pretty sure everybody feels the same way I feel about this movie. Let me know what you think of Batman and Robin. And I'll see you guys Thursday with the how I would have cast it / scripted Batman and Robin. So, see you guys next time on the same Hornsby channel, same Hornsby time. Catch you guys later. Peace out.